Hey there, folks, and welcome back to the Alasiya Campaign. Last time, we concluded our opening game conquest of the island of Alasiya. All that remains on the island for us to finish up is the colonization of the mountain valley of Akrunta and the mountains of Zupigi. But we are working away at that. As usual, the bottleneck resource for us is manpower. And once we do get that cleared up, I won't need to focus on manpower quite as urgently. There is obviously a lot of uncolonized land out on this map for us to eventually need the manpower for, but I may pivot my strategy a little bit towards focusing more on research, or maybe on gold production. I should say treasury production, not like the resource gold. Though I would like to have the resource gold. And I think, is there a precious metals? There is. Okay, there's one over here. This should definitely be mined, but we don't have the money for that right now. Now, we also apparently have a civil war brewing, which is news to me. We don't appear to have any disloyal characters, so I don't know why. Is this just like a mistake? We don't have any disloyal characters? We don't even have any prisoners. Okay, that's odd. Hopefully after the monthly tick that goes away, because I don't know how to fix the loyalty of characters that are not disloyal. So, very strange. But as for where things are generally, we have got King Fapi I Velanathar, 48 years old now. He's still in good health, and he still has some excellent martial that will help us get the remaining manpower we need to get this stuff colonized. With the early game expansion across our island complete, we can also reevaluate whether it makes sense to continue the course with our anticipated heir, Velche, with his 5-6-2-7. As I've said before, these stats are not super impressive, but they're not terrible, and for a peacetime king, which he probably would be in large part, at least compared to the very warlike reign of his father, the 5 martial is fine. 6 finesse is better than average, I suppose, and the 7 zeal will help us keep our stability as high as possible. I think we are also currently waiting to do divine sacrifices. We're in negative PI, so that does make sense. So yeah, I think especially when looking at the alternative, which would potentially be Raku 3985, she'd actually be a better peacetime ruler than her brother, as well as potentially providing that insane citizen output bonus from Founder, which again I think is a glitch. But either way, I would rather have 9 finesse and 5 zeal than 6 finesse and 7 zeal. I think finesse is weighted more than zeal in my mind for peacetime leaders, and her much higher charisma could be nice to keep popularity up. So yeah, it's an interesting idea. I don't know exactly if we were to change the law, if that would actually put her ahead. As I've said before, she's earlier in the list than he is, which makes me think she's considered older, but they're also twins, so it's hard to tell how that would work. I mean, this is a real problem that historical kingdoms had with twins, so yeah. So this would, I mean, the main bottleneck here is definitely the PI. We've got plenty of stability to throw around, and I don't have any other law changes I'm anticipating needing to change right away. I feel like this is a pretty important decision to make soon. Fapi is not, again, in bad health, but he is getting up there in Bronze Age terms, so we don't want to delay this for too long. Fortunately, I had the foresight to set them both up with families, so they do both have young children. Velche's oldest is a 5-year-old girl, and then Raku's oldest is a 5-year-old boy named Anke. Okay. Foolish. Okay, so we'll see, but for now I think we want to just proceed. I think there's nothing else for us to really actively do other than build up our manpower. We're going to continue to be in the low PI range while we get these last colonizations taken care of. And yeah, we have to wait for making gains. There's no way around that. And then after that, we can basically power through here. We can grab picking a side because the Arnatha family is governing the region. and then Triumph in West Alasiya. It'll put the Triumph modifier in Kuklia, which is, I suppose, fine. Hold on, where's Kuklia? I don't remember where it is. It's fine. So yeah, I think we're good to go. I also did reorganize all of my trade, I believe, last episode, so that should all be looking solid. Let me just double check. We can't do too much provincial stuff. Yeah, at the moment, Carthage does have all of his provinces on acquisition of wealth, and they're not too pleased about this. Not what I love to see. The ones where I've moved the capital around have a bit more of a problem here. This should be survivable if I can get them onto assimilation, and with this stability, it should really not be this bad. They're same culture group, same religion. I think it's just a matter of letting bygones be bygones, letting some time go by. Yeah, I don't want this guy to enrich himself that quickly. Let's try to invest in getting this stuff knocked down. But at least the productivity of the province, or of the region, is in pretty good shape. So good to see that. All right, let's continue. Also, let's see how we're doing on score. Number 2 in the world under Hennenesset. Now, dare I look how Hennenesset is doing? Oh, I don't like the look of that. They are actually, oh my gosh, they're already getting set to new. Very hard Hennenesset is not to be trifled with. Look at this. This is just disgusting. And although I'm not right next to them, I'm certainly a... If I was playing Hennenesset, I'd see this unified Enkomi Island and get ideas. So, not the safest situation for us, to be sure. Okay, literally, what is happening here? I don't have any disloyal characters. What are you talking? Is it him? He's not disloyal. Okay, something weird's going on here. I gotta figure out what's happening here, because we're gonna have a glitchy civil war if I don't fix whatever's happening here. I mean, Kursny is loyal. All the other pretenders are, like, fine. What am I missing? I'm clearly missing something. Okay, in my own nation... I literally don't have any disloyal characters at all. I mean, I wouldn't mind him being more loyal, but... I don't... Alright, because I have Silver Tongued, I have to pay PI, which I actually don't have. I mean, the issue is, to do this, I'd have to basically wait, what, like, 5 months or so? Yeah, about 5 months to get this. And then if this isn't the problem, we have less time to sort this out. Characters and subjects. Okay, we don't have any subjects, so that can't be it. I feel like I'm missing something really obvious, but I don't understand. 29.77% of the threshold of the total power base of our characters and subjects. I have no subjects. And it's not about provincial rebellions, because that's a different mechanic, and we're also not at risk of any provincial rebellions right now. Not urgently. This is a character-driven mechanic, so I have no idea what is happening. Alright, can I start by power base? Maybe I can figure it out from here. Oh, you know what it might be? It might be because the governor has more power base than my ruler does. 69.33 from governorship size. Are you actually kidding me? What? But the thing is, he's not disloyal, so does his high power base, like, override the loyalty mechanic when it's higher than the ruler? I've never seen that before. I mean, that's conceivable. Hold on. I'm pulling up the wiki. Imperator Rome. Old Misadventurer classic. I need to figure out what's happening here before my nation collapses. Civil War. Alright. It's not from tyranny, is it? No, we only have 5 tyranny. I'm gonna do some investigation right here. Okay, the countdown to civil war begins when the power base of all disloyal characters as a share of the country's total power base is greater than the state's current civil war threshold. Okay. It's also possible for civil wars to be triggered outside the usual counter, notably when one fails to convict a powerful character at trial. There's also a number of unique missions and event chains that can trigger civil war. Okay, that's not what we're dealing with. It really seems as though the only thing that can trigger this is disloyalty, which is not... What am I missing here? Something is not right. So if I give him free hands, will this magically solve the problem? I don't want to give him free hands, but okay, let's wait, because let's wait until I can do persuade. I actually would want to persuade him anyways, so let's just wait. This may also resolve itself on its own. Is this opening? This is actually opening to my governorship tab, like in particular. Or wait, no, it's opening to my nation overview tab. So this is telling me that this tab is where the information is located. Alright, I'm perplexed. I thought that we were going to have a peaceful follow-up episode to our warlike opening, but we have a mystery on our hands. Yeah, it's counting down as well. What's happening here? I'm so confused. Okay. I mean, I have to assume it has to do with my governor. I could replace him. Let's consider pros and cons. So the main con is he's a really good governor. He has 10 finesse, and I think he also had good traits that I liked. Fort defense, he's ambitious, slave happiness. Okay, it's fine. We can replace him, and we wouldn't lose any PI from getting all those switched out. Let me bring somebody else in, and maybe that'll fix the problem. I mean, we could bring in this 9 finesse, 81 loyalty character. Grateful family. He is skeptical, so that's not great. No corruption at all. A little bit of statesmanship. We could bring in Krithny again. We didn't have these problems when Krithny was in here. Province Commerce is also nice, but he's super corrupt. Let me try bringing in this loyalist Tarchi. Fort defense as well. Okay, so it was the governor. Okay, that's what I thought. He wasn't disloyal, though. What is this? I mean, we got... The moment my wars are done, the real battle begins, it seems, in the court of Enkomi. We've got loyal governors plotting against me. What is this? Alright, so now we've got this very poor health governor, so that's just great. He has dysentery. He's 23, so if he sought treatment, he'd be fine. Alright. Okay, well, we'll leave him here for now. I'm not going to have any PI, or, well, that's not true. I will actually have enough PI to change policies, but I don't really want to have a very poor health character, and then I have to change those policies again later. I'd like him to seek treatment if possible, but let's just hold it for now. Yeah, I do not need this this complexity as the peacetime begins. Or at least the palace will finish pretty soon. I'll take it. Palace is done. Very nice. This means that we now have... We also have another building slot. Probably from population. That would be my guess. We don't have any money, though, so we can't build anything further at the moment. Yeah, also more pop capacity here is nice. Okay, that should boost up our economy. It did. Very good to see. How's our research looking? 88%? Okay. We have a current efficiency of 150, so we can definitely bump this up. But that's pretty good for not having done almost any research prioritization at all. I could bring in double wine for 8% freedom and happiness in the Alasiya province. That's one option. Can I get double honey? Not quite. How about double gold? Nope. I can't even get double olives. Okay. I can get double earthenware. No, actually, I already have double earth. I actually have triple earthenware. Jeez. Okay. Obviously, I have double wood. I have double fruit. I got everything that I kind of need already. I could get wild game, but I don't think that's a good use of this slot. I think we just trade for value, which means bringing in more earthenware from Samaria. Samaria is turning out to be a pretty big trade partner for us, which is great to see. This plantation is underway. Oh yeah, I was building the plantation to get the olives specifically. So once this is done, what are we going to need? -6, which means this will be 7, which means we need to move in 5 slaves. Let's do that now. Okay, there we go. Very poor health. I don't know if he's going to make it. I'm not going to... I refuse to spend 200 gold. I didn't even spend 200 gold for my own son. You think I'm going to pay for this, bozo? You're out of your mind. And look at my son. Look at this. My my terrible parenting worked out great. He doesn't even have his inflammation or whatever he had anymore. Worked out fine. So, okay. I think it's time to pivot again to someone else. I could just bring in Raku. I think I was contemplating doing this before. She does have corruption, though, which I don't like. But she's not gaining corruption. I think she got this from some sort of character interaction. If I could just clean her corruption, we'd be okay. We're a ways away from this. So, okay, let's see. We're looking at about 10 years away or so, because we would need to get shady connections, then I can grab espionage, then I can grab either of these, then I can grab selective immunity. Although it's a loyalty malice, so I can still do it sooner, and she is uncaring, though. She doesn't count as a pretender, but she also doesn't get any extra loyalty from being in the ruling family. I mean, she's a really good character to be a governor, as aforementioned. I could also grab one of my other characters I've been building statesmanship on. Do we have anyone who doesn't completely suck? Probably not the best idea to put Kursny over there. Husi, though, is very loyal, but he's actually not that good. He's also getting pretty old. We can't even change our policies yet, so let's just keep waiting. Maybe he'll seek treatment on his own, but maybe not. He doesn't have any money. Alright, as for what I'll use my money on, commercial ventures is done, very nice. 14 trade imports, excellent. Oh, hold on, we can reach a bunch more stuff now. I was not able to reach reeds before. This calls for a little bit of a pottery. Let me pivot from trading with Eresh to trading more with Samar, or not Eresh, who is this? It's one of the Easterners, I don't know. Let me focus more on my trade with Samaria. Let me bring in double reeds. I can trade with, let's trade with Uruk and Alright, build cost, and 20% freeman happiness locally is completely insane. Reeds needs to be rebalanced, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, and then I don't need this much earthenware. What other good stuff can we get now? We can get 1 copy of cloth. Noble happiness locally would be nice. How many nobles do I have in my capital right now? I got 5. It would still be worth it. I can also... I already have double dates. Never mind. I can go for limestone. 5% local tax is kind of good for my capital province. .10 gives flat research. Kylene, Oricon. Yeah, that's basically it for 10. Let's see here. Let's bring in 1 copy of limestone. I think the 5% local tax would actually be more important than the extra 0.10 from earthenware versus from limestone. Let's trade with That's fine. Oh my gosh, is going crazy. Jesus. All right, you don't usually see a lot of blobbing over here, but we'll see. Maybe in this campaign, things will be different. All right, how are we looking over here? Still not in great shape, but most of it's calming down. He also changed the policy here to encourage trade, bizarrely. Don't know why he did that, but sure, that's fine. Hasthi Ataleni was murdered at the age of 40. She was the royal tutor and a rival of the High Priest. Rest in peace, Hasthi. I think, wasn't our other Hasthi also murdered? Or am I thinking of a different name? No, we have another Hasthi that wasn't murdered. Unless we had 3 Hasthis, which is possible. Murder. We've been informed that Hasthi Ataleni was found brutally murdered in her home just last night. The investigators have reported that a bare hands was used in the crime. A device known to be favored by Hasthi Espui. Oh no. The Hasthi Civil War. First we had the Nkomi Civil War, and then we had the Hasthi Civil War. And of course, we all know that the weapon bare hands is the signature weapon of Hasthi Espui. We've no hard evidence to link her. I'm not gonna. There's no reason for me to do any of that. Let's just leave it as it is. All right. Let's see here. Let's bring in. You've got much more statesmanship, so your lower charisma will actually be better. Abrasive. Don't like that. Versus devout, but also confident. Also, the Espuis are super integrated already, so let's maybe bring in Avelthan Authori. Let's bring in Kulni, I think, one of my cousins, I think she is. Actually, no, let's not bring her in. I could actually bring in my daughter. She's still corrupt, though. Yeah, she'll draw too much wage. Pupli Felsnas, this is a Nkomi minor character. Could bring him in. That could be kind of interesting. He's 45 already, though, so I won't have a lot of use from him. Luki Atalini. Crafty. Nefarious. Alright, we're getting too far away. Let's just go for Ranazu Arthna. I think that's fine. We have really high loyalty in our officer corps as it is, so we should be fine. Alright. Population here is now fully Nkomi. This place could actually lose its theater and get other stuff instead. Although this does help with the local happiness a little bit. I think what I'll do, I won't get rid of the theater for, like, preemptively, but I will clear it out to make room if needed. Alright, Pirate Lair event is triggering once again. This thing pops up every couple of years, it feels. So, we could finally try to dislodge the pirates, but I don't know if I really want to. We actually are getting a lot of tax right now, which the pirate haven bonus is certainly helping. Where did he go? Oh, it's right there. I think we'll leave it as it is. Pirate colony is kind of nice. Alright, what do we want here? We don't have writing 2, so we can't do that. Or urbanization 2. Can we get a bazaar? From Pops is 1, so I don't know actually how much this would actually improve it. We'd probably get 1 more import route, but that's probably it for now. We could also just get a harbor, which would give us just 2 import routes flat. That's not a bad idea. Though we're running out of really valuable resources to bring in. I think it's actually not that we can't reach everyone. We're reaching so we're essentially reaching the entire map already. It's actually that there's just not enough powerful empires that have a lot of extra resources for sale. It's still a bit too fragmented. It's still too early game, but we're going to get there pretty soon, I think. So, alternatively, what else could I spend this on? Can't do a tolling station, so not that. Anything that provides base tax. Base tax is coming from freemen and citizens and tribesmen. I mean, a harbor would still help because the citizens would give me more research as well. I'd also save it for other things. Let's save it for now, and let's consider other places we could throw down this money. For example, in Realanza, because I have a very strong capital now, but I haven't really invested too much in my other cities. Larnaca is pretty big right now, that's for sure. It's also mostly in Komi. So again, I'm not going to get rid of the theater necessarily, though I guess I would have to make room. I spoke too soon. I think this place needs to stay on assimilation for now. Let's not be too hasty here. But I could actually build theaters in other locations that need it. These guys have actually already, yeah, in Komi nobles out here. What's the assimilation rate? 1%? I think a theater here would be worth it. What about in Golgoy? Golgoy has a theater, that's right. Yeah, this is 14 pop. Let's build a theater out here. Let's continue focusing on assimilation. At the end of the day, a higher population in our core is what makes us safe and what makes us productive. So there's no reason to overthink it. I think I'll probably pivot away from allowing the pirates to stay there once I start building up my navy, because logistically trying to share this area with a pirate fleet that could go hostile at any time can be just a bit of a mess. Okay, we have enough PI to start changing policies, but I think I want to actually save my PI. Does it make sense to save it up to 75? I don't think so, because we're also going to spend it on getting this stuff here. Alright, let's finally get the West Alasiya governor situation wrapped up. Okay, if I bring in Raku, so she's uncaring, which isn't great, but she's also my daughter, so the chances of her becoming disloyal without counting as a pretender are not super, super high. She's got good traits, and although I don't think because here's the thing, right? If I make her a governor, and then I don't change my law, and my son becomes the king, she'll probably be a pretty reliable character to be the governor. It's basically his like twin sister governing the other half of the island. But if I do change my law, assuming that it doesn't keep my son as the heir and it makes her the heir, then she's building statesmanship as a governor, and then she'll take over and I can replace her with a different character. Maybe at that point her son would be old enough to and be good enough to be a governor. We can kind of do it that way. So I think this actually makes sense. Yeah, let's bring in Raku. Alright, loyalty is not great, but it could be worse, I suppose. And that power base is, I think, still higher than mine. Let me check here. Yeah, it is. Okay. But I am happy with this. I could bribe her, but I don't think that's necessary. Actually, it might be necessary, because we're going to lose 20 loyalty for sanctioning. Let's see. My family loses some prestige. That's completely fine. The tyranny is also completely fine at this stage. So here's the plan. Let me go ahead. And so here's what I could do. I think the order here, I'd have to sanction her and then give her free hands. Because I think when you give someone free hands, I think it prevents sanctioning. I'm trying to remember, there's some interaction there that screwed me over before. So I could either give her free hands, which makes... because she currently doesn't have ticking corruption, but she does have just built-up corruption. I think what I do is I persuade her first, She's going to go into the mid-30s after I do this set of interactions. Let's first persuade her. That's 5 PI for that. And then sanction. Okay. That's cleaned her corruption out. 37 loyalty. Not great, but manageable. I think I can keep my own daughter under control. Now let's find out if this insane citizen output bonus is actually doing what it says. Well, apparently it is. Raku is providing about 17% output. So yeah, this is just a kind of a crazy glitch that Founder gives. 17% output, although, hold on, that says more than 17, so there's something just weird going on with that, so who knows what is happening there. Either way, I think that was the right call, and now, once I have more PI, I can start to change those policies. The ones that are looking more manageable, I think I'll start with getting them over to assimilation, but, oh yeah, I need 8. We shall see how that ends up looking. Yeah, I need to remember that all of the non and Komi pops from the countryside are moving into the cities, so they need to be assimilated as well. So even once the actual city territories are fully assimilated, I shouldn't just assume the province is done. It makes sense to continue looking at that. So, okay. In terms of population size, looks like Philia is the best spot to start this with because it does have 2 full cities and it's a larger province. Yeah, let's get this switched over. It will cost a little bit of tyranny, and that's fine. Over to cultural assimilation. Alright, that's manageable. Once I have more money, yeah, these are really small cities, but we should see some movement around here, right? Let me take a look. Yeah, people are moving into the cities. Well, maybe just the capital. Actually, I have to do it like this. Oh, they're moving into both cities. Okay, that is good. Alright, good to see. I can also run centralization policy if I want to speed that up, but at this stage, I think that it's fast enough on its own. I just need to keep the assimilation going, get the most out of my god that I'm running, Ishara. Do we have any barbed power in the island? We do. At least for now, it's pretty minor. I think that should be manageable long term once we have more civ level in the area. Oh, Waset has actually overtaken Heneneset. Okay. And myself as well. So we're in the top 4. It's good to see. Minor addendum. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I know. I need the PI, but I want the stability more. What did we lose exactly? I think we lost double honey. Yeah, that must have been it. Alright, actually I don't think we had double honey before. What did we lose? I'm not sure, but double honey is probably better than whatever we were taking before. So I'll take double honey, it's valuable. Or almost to 10 per turn, that's pretty good. Alright. We're going to start dipping into the negatives again once I get these colonizations going, but not too much I can do about that. It is what it is. We'll just continue along peacefully. It looks like Samaria is nearly finishing their conquest of the coastline. Interesting to see that Yerushalayim appears to have, unless I'm missing where they are. Did they get defeated by Samaria? Yeah, they did. Okay, so in this timeline, Samaria is going to become the main power over here instead of Yerushalayim, who sometimes are able to. Alright, plantation's almost done. That'll be good. We got one more slave for some reason. We actually don't need that slave. So I may move him out, but I may just leave him there. Alright. 2 months away, or 2 monthly ticks away from getting the manpower that we need. Very, very good. Now we've got double olives locally, which we will just keep for the 8% slave happiness. That's going to have a big effect across the entire nation. Okay, here we go. Who first? Looks like it will be you. Alright, welcome to the kingdom. This is a cedar territory as well. So now we actually need to get this one prepped to have to wait for colonization progression to finish. But we will need to move, because this is in the middle of the mountains, we have to move some population over. We can do that later. That'll be fine. So you guys want cedar? Yep. Alright, we were over 10 balance per turn. That's good to see. Still healthy. Good. Let me actually put you over here, just so I can check your... Actually, this doesn't really tell me that much, so never mind. Hennesset's about to get a giant peace deal as well. Look at this crazy occupation they've got going. A parlous state. There exists in Nkomi a general feeling of dissatisfaction at the financial practices of Ranazu Arnthna. Malicious rumors circulate, painting a wild picture of the hordes of gold jealously squirreled away in the national treasury. This is my tutor. Ooh, okay, hold on. Because he has low statesmanship, I can pay 51 gold and then gain 6 stability and gain popularity. This is kind of a crazy outcome for a low statesmanship event. Like, this is actually kind of a good button to click. Donate to the poor, absolutely. Get my stability as high as possible. That should also help stabilize things over here just a little bit. Yeah, this is calming down now. Theater in Ledra is done. Nice. Once we have a little bit more money, which we now have to wait a little bit longer, we can get these other things built. The main thing is to get all of my islands to be uniformly Nkomi, so that it's also growing only Nkomi pops. So then I can kind of dismantle all the assimilation stuff there, aside from in the cities where slaves will come. But even then, the slaves will only grow slave pops, so that should be fine. Embrace piracy, here we go again. I'll continue to do the pirate-free state for now. But your days are numbered, pirates. Someday, I will turn away from your ways. Red-handed. Several nights ago, Pulia, my wife and my high priest, was discovered helping herself to a sizable quantity of gold from the national treasury. This is clearly a serious crime. However, there is something to be said for sweeping affairs like this under the carpet. Oh boy. I could gain loyalty with her. This would technically actually be useful because I want more loyalty from my officers. And she's my wife, so I think I'm going to cover for her this time. This affair will disappear as a show of appreciation for her service. Okay. Just this whole episode is just constant, unexpected domestic challenges. Hate to see it. Alright. So, let's see. We're going to need... So when are you done? September 1st of this year. Okay. We can colonize from here, which is probably the easier way. We have to move in a lot of pops. We'll see near the end of the year what it is requiring. Hopefully it gives us a clear instruction there. Drought. A particularly harsh year has led to a drought in the province of Akna, withering the crops and leading to food shortages across the area. Local officials are begging for our support to avert a crisis. It will not be cheap, but we may be able to import extra supplies and address the worst of the starvation. Okay, so I could divert food from Venus, which would reduce its loyalty and its food, and it would reduce its monthly loyalty and its current loyalty, but Akna would get the food and this would cost PI. Or I could just do nothing. I mean, this is definitely the best option here. I'll get this money back in about 4 months. So we'll just pay for the food ourselves. It's our responsibility. It's my province. I conquered it. It's my job to take care of it. It's the least I can do. All right. Oh, I don't like that at all. Oh, they're fighting Wasset as well. Jesus Christ. Alright, Hennenesset needs to calm the hell down. 207 territories, 2.1k pops, including 300 Hennenessutan pops. And who knows if they've also integrated the Men Neferi, which they probably should. Oh. And they're also allied with Nekken as well. Yeah, Hennenesset is on an absolute warpath right now. These guys are... I mean, can I just play a game in Canaan without Egypt causing me heartburn every second? I guess not. This is the historically accurate Canaanite experience, I guess. Just, come on, man. So, okay. I mean, I didn't think so, but you never know. Hold on. No, yeah, I don't know why I'm even bothering to check. Alright, well, hopefully they don't think about how much copper is on my island and how much they'd like to have my copper. Hopefully they never dwell on those questions. Renuzu is truly a dire advisor. Alright, come on, man. Just, first he's stealing cash, then he's losing me stab. Just can't have nice things on Nkomi. It's not happening. Or on Alasiya is the island, and Nkomi's the kingdom. Alright. Alright, we are now 50. Our son had actually, he already had the other daughter, Apthony. I think I saw her before. Oh, his wife's in very poor health. That's not good. Yeah, that could be... It's not looking too good. However, one upside is that I could remarry him to someone who may be a better match for his stats, but we'll see what happens with that. Hard to predict exactly where that could go. Alright. I know this is kind of a more quiet episode, but this is the calm after the storm. We have to, you know, take it easy a little bit here. Let things calm down after everything that happened. Alright, you know, I'm late to this. Let me see here. Where do we want to change this first? Let's just go by pop amount. So I think Kukli is next. Let's change this over to cultural assimilation. Alright. How's your loyalty looking, by the way? Hold on. Oh no, I just saw what that event was. Deal with that in a moment. A bastard returns, despite our efforts to hush up the affair between Afapi and Satleni, and the existence of the bastard-tired Spuri. The now grown-up babe has arrived at court requesting an audience with the king. Oh no. It seems the servants trusted with conducting our orders were either unable to follow through or failed to maintain the secret of the child's parenthood. They will be dealt with accordingly. As for the child, we can no longer avoid a stir at court. His account has supports of eyewitnesses. We can only acknowledge or deny his claim. You try to do something nice, and you don't order the murder of your illegitimate child, and look what happens. See, this is why we can't have nice things on Alasiya. Alright. Well, we could literally say this is spurious claims. Okay, so what do we do here? So I could destroy his loyalty, and and my wife gains loyalty. We lose some legitimacy. I mean, this is probably fine. I don't want to adopt him into my family. Although, no, I don't, because close family members and pretenders includes my daughter, who's governing half my island, and my son, who doesn't have an office, but I don't want him to have low loyalty. So yeah, we're going to deny all allegations. Get the hell out of here. Alright. Okay, we're going to have to wait one more month for that to update. That's fine. This has been a very dramatic episode, lots of family drama on the island. Okay, so now we just need the manpower. We don't have any other limits because this province, which has enough Nkomi, can reach it, so that's fine. Now we just have to wait for that. Alright. Now I wonder what happens to that character. Hold on. If he stays in my court. Actually, I can find him over here. How do I find where he is? Hold on. First generation aristocrat. Where are you? I think he's okay. I think he's in my court. Hold on, I can figure this out another way. 0 finesse, or I mean 0 charisma. There he is. Yep, he's just a courtier now in my court. Okay, sure, that's fine. Cedar planks. The abundance of cedar trees has made good ships much more common, now composing a large part of our fleet. I think you're getting some misinformation, Foppy. I don't know who's telling you we got a fleet with cedar planks in it. We have no fleet with any planks in it. Their wood is better suited for shipwrighting than others due to its natural defense against rot and it being easy to work. Alright, we get cedar planks permanently, plus 10% morale of navies, and plus 5% navy morale recovery. That's pretty good. That is a nice permanent game-long bonus for us. Love to see it. Yeah. So yeah, we're just going to have a 20%, a casual 20% morale of navies advantage against non-Canaanites without cedar. I'll take it. That's what I'd like to see. Alright, admin. Okay, where next? Okay, I think Vuni is next for getting... Oh wait, no. One PI too low. It happens. Drop down to 4th. That's fair, we're in kind of a quiet period right now, and our contemporaries are not. Alright, Vuni, you can get cultural assimilation. Thank you. Alright, still healthy at 50 right now. We're about to turn 51. Oh, I stopped doing... I can't believe I completely missed this. This would have been earlier in the year. We got to switch back to scheme influence. Whoops. I think I even saw that he was content, and I just didn't really process it. That's too bad. We missed out on a little bit of PI, which is not super bad, but definitely annoying. Oh well. It's a pretty minor mistake, all things considered. Alright, January 1st, 8:10. Worldwide drought lessens. The drought that has cursed the world seems to be waning. Are the gods finally bringing an end to this affliction? Let's hope so. Alright. Call down an omen. I think Ashara still. Looks like Kothar Wakasis was shrined up over here? Really? Okay, that's an interesting spot. East Sinai. Is this a released country? Who the hell is East Sinai? Okay, I've interesting. Anyways, that's fine. We'll come back to that. At least for now, I think Ashara for the pop simulation. That's our strategy right now. No need to change that. And we have no war council. We also don't have any neighboring countries, so that's kind of what I was expecting. So I'm not really sure how we're going to get claims on the mainland. I guess we have to do it the old-fashioned way. Maybe once our mission is done, we're able to get further expansion missions to the mainland. That's not out of the question, for sure. But I think we're looking solid. Let's do a quick review of everything. So Foppy is healthy. He's now influencing stakeholders again. Our wife is healthy, and she's super loyal, and she's still doing good as the High Priest. Officers are looking fine. I could swap out some of these officers with younger characters and start building up statesmanship. It's not the worst idea. It may make sense to do that when we have the succession, though. I think I kind of want to... Well, the thing is, I still have, I think, probably another 20 years with most of these characters. I don't think there's any reason to swap out our current expert high statesmanship characters. Let's leave it for now. And our family situation is pretty solid. I keep forgetting that because I'm not playing as a Republic-style country, there's no factions in, in Bronze Age and in other Imperator mods. There's no factions for monarchy, so I keep forgetting that we don't have to worry about that. So we really are in good shape here. Yeah, I think we're fine, actually. No need to change any of this stuff. At this point, I think I can actually replace him with someone who isn't as terrible. Let's replace Titer with Carthasi, assuming this doesn't cause civil war problems again. Okay, it didn't, but he did become disloyal. Oh, wait, no. He didn't become disloyal. Raku became disloyal. Is that... Huh? Didn't I just assign one of your relatives? Okay. Well, this is a bit of a problem. What's the issue here? Prosecuted for corruption, that's fine. Power base. I have no idea what made her disloyal. That's really bizarre. I could try to befriend her. That would be the most cost-effective way, but that would be slow. And I can't have this governorship under a disloyal governor for that long. Oh, I don't want to give her free hands. I really don't want to give her free hands. Can I persuade her again? I think I can next month. Let's roll the dice on that. I think I can persuade her again. Hot red-handed. Hauled in front of the court. Renazu Arnthra. This, I swear to God, this guy has got to calm down. He is out of control. He has a rusty spike, which was used to strike down Usele Mafanates in a brutal act of violence. Luckily, passers-by were quick enough to act. Okay. Just... the issue is he's really good at being the royal tutor. He's got 10 charisma, although he doesn't have a lot of statesmanship. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, the dungeons will straighten him out. Although, hold on. Kruthni Arnthna loses. Is that because that's his... No, who is losing loyalty? Kruthni Arnthna. Is this his family head? I think that might be who that is. Oh yeah, it is. He'll have to deal. This guy is gotta stop. He's complete madness. All right, dungeons will straighten him out. Yeah. All right, royal tutor. All right, hold on. Deal with that in a moment. Let's bring in Kulni Velthanar. This should make my family grateful. She's crafty. Oh, okay, hold on. There's other options. Titer Velthanather can come back. Yeah, he's fine. Still have civil war problems, though. Again, it's like, I started the episode with this exact problem, and now we're back here. I don't have a disloyal character. What are you talking about? Okay, let's assume this is just a UI glitch, and after the tick, it will resolve itself. Surely, that's what we're dealing with here. I think I'm still going to persuade her, though, because I think it's maybe connected with her. Aha! As I thought. Okay, here's what I think is going on, because I just did plus 15 loyalty, and it increased to 38. I think the loyalty number is not displaying correctly. I think that's where the problem is, and I think that's what happened at the start of the episode. I think that the displayed loyalty is actually not accounting for something. I don't know what, but once I did the bribe, it updated the tooltip, and now it's displaying everything correctly. So I think that's what's going on here, if I had to guess. All right. We're almost there. Fugitives cross the border, fleeing from the war with Alagu. This is Hurrian Regulatui fugitives. I don't think so. Get out of here. We've got Jedit and Jedu fighting in a very confusing war. How's the war between these two going? Still going. Take over Shah Set No. Velche Velthanather requests responsibilities. The heir to Enkomi, Velche Velthanather, has asked to take on some of the responsibilities of rulership from Fapi, though young Velche is confident that he has the necessary capabilities to be an effective administrator. Yeah, okay, I'll give him a chance. I don't know if this means I have to actually give him a position, but I can give him a position, just so that he doesn't get upset with me. I think he picked up Just, which is actually pretty good. ailing. I don't like that, though. It's not from any particular condition. Let me bring him in as my court philosopher, I think. This will make the Esprit not grateful, but that's fine. Let me find him in my list. Alright, he's super loyal as well, which is nice. We'll build up some statesmanship on him. Okay, hopefully that keeps him from being upset. I've had so many of those events where they get upset that you didn't assign them a position. I just want to get ahead of it this time. I don't know if that's what he wanted, but that's what he's getting. So hope he is fine with that. Okay. Things are, I think, finally calming down. We can also build another building. Where should that be? Over here. I'd like to keep this palace. It's not the largest city, I guess, so let's look elsewhere. This has a... Yeah, this one already. This one's a really big city. Kukli is a really, really big city. But it already has a theater. I guess Mavraki is the next theater location for us. Okay. And I should also remember, theaters also provide noble and citizen happiness, so they're not, like, useless once your assimilation is done. But I think, essentially, I want to get Nkomi completely, fully assimilated so that only the only pops that are growing... So the only non-slave pops that are ever growing anywhere on the island are Nkomi pops. And then I can dismantle the theater network and make more room. But this is a long-term goal to really ensure this is one Nkomi island. What was I doing? Oh yeah, one more policy change. Looks like it's going to be Calabasas. Swap you over to assimilation. All right, just manpower now. A few more months. I'm amazed Paduwanda has held on this long. Tarsa is just not bothering to fight them, even though they really should. For the sweet, they got obsidian up here, they've got precious metals, they got a lot of good stuff up there. Velche Valthanauthor adapts to leadership. Velche has taken on some of the responsibilities of state from Fapi and has performed remarkably well. He shows promise in both statecraft and diplomacy that will serve him well when it is his time to rule. Excellent, so we get 5 legitimacy from that and some popularity for my son, the court philosopher. Alright, good job, boy. Good job, my boy. Alright, good to see. Tyranny is going down nicely. Raku is still loyal, though not amazingly loyal. How's her family doing? Doing okay. Oh, her husband has an infection. And then my son's wife has dysentery and pregnancy simultaneously. Not the best combination, I imagine, to have at the same time. Alright, so we should finally be able to get Zupiki colonized in just a moment now. Alright, there we go. That is another limestone territory, and that means making gains is done. Calabasas gets occupation welcomed for 20 years. Then we get 15 popularity on Afapi. Ah, that's right. I forgot about this. Oh, that's really unfortunate. I completely forgot we had to have one of these set up. Either the Arnthna or the Atalinas family. Okay, well, this is something we can change, but what have I spent already? Let's assess the damage here. I've spent, what, 8, 16, 24, 32 PI that I'm now going to lose, that I have to respend. At least I didn't spend it on this. Okay, that's unfortunate. That was a mistake, but it is what it is. I didn't design this mission to require this. This is how it is. So which one do we want more? I think these are pretty interchangeable. Whichever family, so either the Atalinas or the Arnthna family. Let's figure out who would be best here. Let's search just by finesse. So we could bring in Kruthni again. I think he was my first governor. He does give province commerce, which is nice. but he is super corrupt. Laris with 7. Research points and slave output, okay. Nefarious tendencies, I don't think so. Araz Atilinus. I think this is my wife's, or my daughter's husband. I'm fairly sure, right? Yeah, I was right about that. I could bring in her husband to take over. That seems kind of mean, but he's got assertive. I like that for the commerce. Devout and uncaring cancel out, but he should be fairly loyal otherwise. All right. I know. Favoritism. Yeah. Okay. Are you actually kidding me? All right. Triumph in West Alasiya. Kuklia gains Triumph, and he gains 1 Charisma. Finish mission. There we go. Okay, so we have no Conquest missions, just Pearl missions. We'll come back to that in a moment. And now, let's swap you back out. That's a shame. Are you... Come on. Okay. We'll deal with that in a moment. So she's brought everything back to acquisition. So that was just a 32 political influence just loss I took for that mission objective. It is what it is. We brought her back. She is the better person to be the governor. And I may have caused some friction in her family, but she can deal with that, honestly. Okay. What are our options here? I can't do this for 2 years. Is there any way I can do anything else other than free hands? Can I hold a triumph? Is that possible? I don't think I... Do I need a tech for that? I'm not sure. I could try to befriend her. I won't beat the timer, though. Or at least I probably won't. I really don't want to give her free hands. I really don't want to. This is so unfortunate. I could have avoided this whole thing if I thought about this more. Alright. Needs must. Gotta do it. But that is our island fully occupied at long last. And now we can start to plan out what will come in the future. Now, Foppy is still healthy at 51. It may make some sense to plan some of our conquests with him as opposed to his successor, who I don't think is really quite up to the task. At least probably not. But the question is, who would I actually go for? And that's something to really consider here. I still think Ugarit makes some sense. They're still fighting Alak after all this time. Yeah, they're Ugaritic, but they are Canaanite. I think my only way to do this is to just get a claim, and then what I might do actually, because I really don't like the Pearl of missions, they require building really particular infrastructure that you have little control over. What I'm going to do is I'm going to not select a mission for now, and I will actually get a claim on Ugarit once I have PI, and then go to war with Ugarit. I can actually conquer a pretty big beachhead from Ugarit. I probably can't even... I can only probably conquer, you know, some of their territory because they have so much. I have a lot of AE room, obviously. But I think that's my opening move, and then that enters me... So I think what I want to do... I want to get into the Ugarit region and ideally create borders with Phoenicia, Kadesh, and Mucus. Not so that I get a Matter of Ugarit mission, but rather that I get a Matter of one of these other regions mission. I think that's probably the way to go. I think Ugarit is looking pretty fightable. Now, notably, I would begin bordering Ebla, who I am not in a position to take on whatsoever. Even Ugarit is not going to be a very easy fight, to be sure, though they're distracted by their long war with Alalak. So I have to think about this because I kind of want to be friendly with Ebla, but I also think Ebla is kind of not likely to allow me to post up on their coastline for too long. I may have to, you know, turn against them or consider them a possible enemy. Now, the land quality around here is pretty inconsistent, as I complained about endlessly in my Damaset campaign, though the coastline is actually pretty lush. There's a lot of farmland along the coastline, and Ebla has a pretty good river valley area, though there's a lot of plains further out. Once you're getting into southern Canaan, things are, again, along the coastline and along the rivers, they're solid, but otherwise they're pretty dry. Nothing like the phenomenal land over here. But nonetheless, we definitely have some stuff to work with here. I think Ugarit is the next target, and I guess the question would be, do I actually go for this with my current king, or do I wait? I don't think it makes sense to wait for the succession. I think that I have time with my current king to launch an invasion of Ugarit and establish a beachhead. He's not, like, ailing right this second. He's only 51. In fact, I probably have at least 20 years with him, which is about how much time I've had with him so far. So, yeah, I think we definitely have time. I don't know how far I can establish my mainland holdings with him, but we just got to go for it, I think. We've got such good martial with him, and until he has serious health problems, his stats are still going to be pretty good. Yeah. So I think Ugarit is the first target, but then the question is, do I wait until they're done fighting Alalak, or do I go sooner? I also don't really want to go to war with them super soon, because I feel like I'm still getting my recent island conquests kind of under my control. But that being said, we are getting, more and more pops from our assimilation efforts. Let's actually try to do some math really quick. Ugarit has got 113 Ugariti. And let's assume that they've not integrated anybody else. We've got 227 in Komi. So we've got essentially double their core population. And so again, assuming they've not integrated anybody, they should have maybe like 7 or 8 at most pops raisable as levies. So we should really be okay. And they're also distracted by war. I kind of think going to war with Ugarit sooner rather than later may actually be to our advantage. The only issue is we don't have a claim, and we need to wait for 20 PI to get the claim. So I think that's the next goal that we will begin to get ready for in the next episode, is building up the PI to claim Ugarit, which we should be able to do over the ocean. I don't think there's any reason we can't claim them from this distance. I'm fairly sure this is allowed. Let me see, for example, like over here, they're going to be too far away. Maybe not, actually. Okay, maybe it doesn't say, but I think this is the obvious landing point. It's the closest to our capital. The actual city of Ugarit is a really good location with a lot of strength. And the nice thing, too, is that the terrain around here is creates a really good choke point. I really like the layout of this region because it's extremely well defended as like a coastline. There's only very narrow ways into it from all of the land directions, which is great because we have to then fortify up against the Eblan hordes out on the plains. So this is a great landing point. Now, notably, Ebla actually is in the Ugarit region, which is not great, and means that we probably will have to get into conflict with them. But we could potentially fight them for that, and then peace out, and then work on building our relationship back up with them. I don't really want to push out and actually conquer, like, Ebla or Kadesh right now. I think my conquest goals is really Ugarit, then maybe Mukis, but I don't really want to leave the Canaanite area right now. So I'm thinking maybe Ugarit and Berot, or not Berot, Phoenicia is the name of the actual region. Ugarit and Phoenicia feel like pretty doable goals, and this mostly involves fighting Ugarit and Berot. So Samaria could actually be not just a trade partner for me, but an ally in these fights. Are they in? They're actually not in this, which is perfect. Okay. Interesting. Lots to consider here, but I think that's going to be it for this episode of the Alasiya campaign. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.